Glad you all came back after lunch. After that, I was a little worried that we'd lose everybody to the Mariners game or something else going on this afternoon. But glad you could make it back. So the format of the next hour is 7 presentations for 7 minutes each. And these are not all necessarily LabVIEW related. They're just interesting from the community. They actually do this at the CLA Summit in Austin every year, and it's been very popular. I think they're actually doing more than just 7 when they do those, but I haven't been to the CLA Summit because I'm not that cool. But anyway, so we're going to repeat it here and see how it goes. So we have, we're going to go in this order: John, then Justin, then Stuart, then myself, then Craig, and then Warren. So 7 minutes each. Are you keeping track of time? Okay, because it's a hard stop at 7 minutes. We're gonna put you in a headlock and drag you off the stage if you have to. But hope you enjoy. Let us know what you think of it afterwards at some point on your feedback or whatever. You good? Anything else? Okay, John.
All right, can you hear me? Good. So I'm going to do a quick presentation on web services because I think everybody should be using web services somewhere in your code base. Extremely useful, especially for monitoring and automating your applications. So I've made a very simple app here, which you can see on the screen. And all it does is it has a number that shoves into a queue, and also I'm grabbing the IP address of this machine via the Wi-Fi and feeding it onto this display here so you guys can see it. So while I'm talking, you're going to want to type in this string into your computer or phone if you want to play along at home. And we're going to do a quick little interactive demonstration. But I have one web service I already created just so we can see it, and it's insanely simple. It simply takes the version of the application, in this case LabVIEW, and then puts it into a stream and outputs that to the connector pane. So this is what, once I get this fired off, you'll be able to try that. So yeah, if you type this in right now, just don't hit enter yet because I haven't turned on the web service. But how you would create another one, I'm just going to go under here, I'm going to say I'm going to add a file, and I'm going to cheat here because I already have a file set up. And unfortunately, it's not running this time. So this is a new web service. Oh, I forgot to delete the code. Okay. All right, well anyway, imagine I just created this code right here in front of you, but it's insanely simple. As you can see, it's just simply grabbing onto that same queue, and then it's previewing the queue and outputting the data. And I've connected this data output indicator to the connector pane. So that's a key piece. You have to do that. So literally, that is all I had to do to create a web service that is attached to my application. Now, it used to be that the web services were having their own application instance, and you couldn't transfer data between your exe in them, but they changed that several years back, and now you can share memory between them, but you have to pass it with some sort of a wireless connection, which means no, you can't wire anything in. It has to be through a queue or any other kind of reference-based data transport that LabVIEW supports. All right, so now we've got these two LabVIEW web services. I'm going to go up here and hit start, and I'm also going to run my application here. And now, if anyone types in this string here, you should get a really simple web page that tells you the version of LabVIEW I'm running. So first person to name the version of LabVIEW I'm running from the thing wins. Go ahead. Anyone? Anyone? It's going to be extremely small. You're going to have to zoom. I'm sorry.
1.0.
That's right. Version 15.0.1 because I'm lame and haven't upgraded in a long time. Oh, sorry. Is that better? Oh, sorry. Okay. It usually talks so loud that I don't know where I'm Okay. So one time right now left. All right. Okay. Listen, I guess I have 7 more minutes because you've
3 minutes 45 seconds.
Okay. So we can go up here and change the word version to our read underscore data. That's all you got to do. It doesn't have to be .vi. Just read underscore data, and exactly the same URL. Just leave the automate in there. Just change the version to read underscore data, and now whatever number is on the screen, you should be able to read that number on your screen. So right now we have a 4. And then if I change this to an 8 and you refresh, you should see an 8. Is anyone been able to type that in fast enough? Is it working? Awesome. All right. So basically, I'm creating live data in the application, and you're able to grab that from the web service. So not only were you able to get some static information, the version of the application, you're also able to get live data. Now, this looks really basic, I understand, but again, I just threw this together quickly to demonstrate something. But what I want you to see is what you can do with this. So this is a web page that one of my coworkers created, and it leverages web services that I've embedded into our applications. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go choose our plant in Guadalajara, and I'm going to pull in the software versions of every single piece of software we have installed there and put it in a grid and tell me if it's up to date or out of date. So green means it's current release, blue means it's running a beta, and red means it's behind the current release and needs to be updated. And I can quickly jump over and read all of the servers in Zhuhai, China, and tell me if they're up to date as well. I can also, I'm going to back out of this to another page, and I'm going to, don't let my boss know I showed you this. I'm going to show you everything that's running on all of those servers right now, and it's going to require me to hit it twice sometimes. He's got a bug in his webpage, not the battery. But this is pulling all of the data from the currently active test sessions running in the factory. And I can scroll through it and I can see exactly what's going on, when was it started, if it's running past failed. I can view it by the overall plant, so I can scroll through. These are all the places you could run a unit, and I can see how much the plant is currently being used today. I can see it by server. So here it is by test server, how many of what type of sessions are running on these servers. So this is just a little bit of what you can do with web services. I can even launch tests from here. If I knew the serial number in the location where a duct was hooked up right now, I could start the test session from this web page right here in Mexico. So web services are amazing. They give you a great way to automate your applications, even if you're just monitoring them to make sure they're healthy or what version they are. And also if you want to be able to totally automate them, you can even write scripts in whatever scripting language you want. If it can call a URL, you can script your entire LabVIEW application. That's it.